Hi, my name is Dara Dietz. Muscle spasms, Charlie horses, the like, these are all driven by potassium. Low potassium levels in the body. Um, they can be very painful and come up. Some people can be woken up in the middle of the night with a ripping pain in their calf. It's the Charlie horse grabs. There are things that we can do naturally to stop these and to clear them very quickly. Lobelia is a natural antispasmodic that is found in nature. Lobelia is the name of an herb, a flower actually, and it has antispasmodic properties with absolutely no side effects. Years ago I developed a salve. We call it the M&L salve, and it's made with mullein and lobelia. Mullein is the master glandular herb, and lobelia being an antispasmodic. The way these work, I've seen this salve do wonders for locked joints, muscle spasms, headaches that are driven by muscle spasms. A case of whiplash in myself years ago. It was very helpful in easing the pain and relaxing the muscles, which then allowed blood flow into the brain. The lobelia relaxes the muscles and relaxes and opens up the area, and the mullein, then being the master glandular herb, it will move the excess lymphatic fluid out. And anytime that you have damage, injury, the body is tossing lymphatic fluid into the area, trying to kind of build up a protection around it, and that's where the stiffness and blockage and pain and all that come from. Opening up the area, allowing movement, will then remove the excess lymphatic fluid and get rid of the stiffness. Several years ago, I had an accident out in our office. I perched on the edge of my husband's office chair. It is on wheels, and he's 6'4" and I'm not. And when I perched on the edge of it, it popped out. I was working on his computer, and the chair popped out from under me, and I just splatted on the ground, and my head whipped. And I checked myself, and I thought, I'm okay. And the first night, it seemed to be fine. No bad. Slept through the night. Everything seemed to be okay. The second night after the accident, I woke up about 2 in the morning, and I did not know you could be in that much pain in your head and still be alive. It was like somebody was driving a knife into my skull and into my brain. The pain was incredible, and I didn't know whether I was going to throw up or pass out. I did have the presence of mind to think that the M&L salve might be helpful, and I had some in the bathroom, so I struggled out of bed and got into the bathroom, got the tin open, and I rubbed it on the back of my neck, and within less than 60 seconds it had relaxed the muscles. The blood flow had been allowed to move back into the brain, and what had happened basically was the cool of the night air had stiffened the muscles. The muscles in my neck had become spastic and tightened to the place where they were cutting blood flow off to the brain. And unluckily, the brain doesn't die quietly. It puts up quite a ruckus on the way down. And the pain was just incredible. When the muscles were relaxed and eased up, the pain very quickly dissipated and went away. And by the time I got back into the bed and was crawling back in bed, the pain was basically gone. And what I did over the next 6 months, a year, I don't remember exactly how long I was doing it, was I got a flax scarf, and I would put the M&L on before I would go to bed at night, and just put the flax scarf over top of it, keep my neck warm, and didn't have any more problems with neck pain or headaches or anything like that, as long as I remembered to put the scarf on and the M&L before I came to bed. And then during the day, I would put the bone, flesh, and cartilage salve over my neck and all, as pack it on, and that would, and it can also be used at night. I just didn't, but it will work. It works really good. You can put the M&L on before you go to bed at night, and then just pack. You put that on like a lotion, and then you take the BF&C salve, put it on your flannel, and then just fasten that over the neck with some press and seal wrap, and then you can put your scarf over top of that. And the BF&C has the comfrey and the herbs in it that actually strengthen the tissue and knit it back together, so that the damage that was done will be strengthened, and eventually the muscles will be able to hold, and they'll have the strength, and they won't spasm anymore or anything like that. It's been several years now, and I don't have the headaches anymore. I don't need to wear the flax scarf, except on really cold nights. I prefer to sleep in a cold room in the winter. I like to be cool, and that my neck muscles are still sensitive to getting chilled. So I'll either wear a high-necked nightie or put the flax scarf around my neck again, just to keep it warm. But I don't necessarily have to put the M&L salve on all the time. If my neck does seize up, I can put it on. It will very quickly take that spasm away, and it's almost a non-event anymore. I've also used the M&L salve very effectively for locked joints. One of our members is a lounge singer. He's in his 80s, and he had quit playing. He plays the guitar, and him and his wife sing, and he had quit playing quite a few pieces because he could not do the chords. It would make his hand spasm. Found out that he could put the M&L salve on before he went out to play, and it would relax the muscles in his hands to where he could play whatever he wanted without the spasms coming on in his hands. It's also been excellent. I found out myself, we have a 4-poster bed upstairs that is kind of tall, and I tend to have to slide off of it in the morning. And one morning I slid down, and when I got on the floor, my knee had locked. And I have a bad knee that was injured years ago, and it had locked up on me. And I couldn't take a step away from the bed. I could not move. Michael was gone. He'd already left the bedroom. And my knee wouldn't bend, and it was hurting really bad. The M&L salve just happened to be on my night table, and I reached over, opened the jar, put it on, and it instantly released the muscle, the lock joint in my knee, and I was able just to walk right out, and it was done. My husband came up a few minutes later, and I told him what I had done, and he kind of laughed at me and just thought, well, yeah, right. And whenever I would share the story with members, or over the next few years, he would just roll his eyes and kind of make fun of my locked knee, that it had released so quickly. Until one evening, he came up. He'd been working on the tractor all day and getting old, and his knee locked up in the chair. He went to stand up, and his knee was locked, and the M&L salve, which we tend to keep upstairs in the bedroom, was available within reach of him. And he put it on, and he couldn't stop singing the praises of how well the stuff worked. It just released his knee joint immediately. M&L is also excellent to rub on before an adjustment at the chiropractor. It will relax the muscles so that the adjustment stays better, and to strengthen the overall tissue so that it stops becoming dislocated in the first place. You would want to strengthen the tissue with the bone, flesh, and cartilage formula. So if there is an area where the spine is constantly slipping out of joint, you probably need to strengthen that with using the bone, flesh, and cartilage packs over it. But when the adjustment is done, the M&L salve will relax the muscles and allow the adjustment to come much more easily, and help it hold, because the muscles will not be wanting to pull it back out. They won't be in the spastic condition. They will have relaxed so that the adjustment can hold. And we do our ELFs, the emergency liver flush. Before I put the castor oil pack on, I take and rub some of the M&L salve over the liver area. It will open up the lymphatic system and allow everything to move much more effectively. So anytime that you are working on dissolving tumors, opening up an area, if you're doing bowel cleansing and you're putting castor oil packs over the bowel, rub a little M&L on there first. That will just open up the area and allow everything to move more effectively. Dr. Christopher originally put this formula together, these two herbs together. In his material, he had used this for goiters over the thyroid. So a malfunctioning thyroid, it is an excellent aid. Just to plaster it over, the thyroid is here at the front. So you would just put it on your flannel and just put that over the throat, and it's excellent support in helping clear the goiters. And the other suggestion is the master herb for the thyroid, which is kelp. So using a good kelp supplement along with packing this. And then of course when you're clearing any issue from the body, you would want to do your liver flushes. The liver is the vacuum cleaner of the body, and as you're opening the area up and you're using the herbs that target it to rebuild, strengthen, and move the waste out, you want the liver to be pulling, the vacuum cleaner in your body, to be pulling the waste effectively. So keeping the liver flush, keeping it open anytime that you are dealing with any issue, that is going to make it just much more effective what you're doing. So for thyroid issues, underactive or overactive, the kelp and the M&L salve packed over it will be very helpful.